The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. The problems of too little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy mixed up world. These are quotes from a couple of very famous characters. I was reminded of that recently when one of the people that watched these videos noticed that there were some pictures in the background, which you can't see here. So she commented that she liked how the artwork behind me kept changing. I looked back and I saw that I had the Casablanca poster up there. I was reminded of that final scene when, Humphrey Bogart's character, Rick, is sending Ilsa off for the greater good. He was sacrificing his true love. And he says to her, the problems of too little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy mixed up world. And then of course, Spock famously in Star Trek says, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And it occurred to me that in these movies, we keep getting reinforcement of the idea that self-sacrifice is the greatest thing that we could do. But each of us individually have ideas that the collective can be inspired by. The great leaders of our world have been the men and women with new ideas that caught on for the greater good. But if it weren't for the individual, those ideas may never have been born. We're all individuated souls. And a shift in the paradigm is born out of the awareness of one. We're put here as individuated souls for a reason. One of those reasons, perhaps the greatest reason, the hope is that a new consciousness will be born out of individuals. That new ideas that were never in existence shall be born. As each one of us is born, that is a microcosm of the macrocosm. We've been individuated for a purpose, for the one hope that new ideas, that a new form of consciousness will be born. So am I saying that go ahead and be selfish and greedy and egotistical and self-centered? Not at all. But you don't have to sacrifice yourself. You must give of yourself. The beauty of love is that when you give it away, you have more. There's no sacrificing love. It's the one thing, when you give what you have more of it, not less. So, do we sacrifice ourselves for the greater good, or do we give of ourselves for the greater good? Thinking about the movie Casablanca, Humphrey Bogart sacrificed his one true love and his potential for happiness living with Ilsa and sharing this idyllic life. He told her to go for the greater good. But he didn't sacrifice himself, because at the end, there's that great line where he turns to the French police lieutenant and he says, "Louis, this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." And they walk off into the night. And you know that Rick had ideas. He didn't sacrifice himself. His consciousness was too important. This wasn't self-preservation. This was the birth of new ideas put into action. Now, when Spock died, when he sacrificed himself in that film to save the Enterprise, they got him back, didn't they? They couldn't bear losing him because he was too important. Nobody thought the way Spock thought. He saw things differently. His ideas, his consciousness, individuated consciousness was too important to lose. You, as an individual, are capable of thought and perspective that only you possess. and the hope that a new form of consciousness or a new idea that can be born with you at any moment. Ideas are born in a flash, and they can be miraculous. So what does that make you? Don't be self-centered or vain, because we all must look out for the collective. But in so doing, your perspective can bring about change. It starts with one individuated soul. It starts with you. You never know when that flash may come. Give of yourself, don't give yourself away. Change is upon us. Paradigms are shifting. And it's your perspective that may change it all.